Harsin, a little surprising. I know he wasn't on the schedule talking to you. Just you're what's up right now, and I obviously the players haven't been able to talk so far this week.
Nothing's different. Yeah, we're just going into a scrimmage this week, so just a mindset, a little bit of a game week more than anything.
With the scrimmage coming up, I mean, obviously you're a week into camp, but
right.
What have you noticed so far from your team, or any guys in particular?
No guys necessarily. I think the team's working hard overall. We're just at a point now where guys are getting better within the schemes that we're running, and we'll see what they do in the scrimmage.
Are you where you want to be at this point, 7 days in or whatever?
I don't know.
With we asked you before about Montel Kozar. You said you've never worked with him before. What has your impressions now been? You've had a week to see him a little bit up close.
Yeah, good. I mean, he's worked hard. It's kind of what we expected. Smart, tough. We'll see what he does in the scrimmage when he gets live bullets at him.
A weekend. I mean, how much can you judge from a guy just a weekend?
Yeah, very hard. I think you have to scrimmage. You can see guys that pay attention in meetings. It's really more about the process. Do they do it every day? You see some of the mentality of the players when they come to meetings, when they transition to position meetings, when they transition to practice or weight room. Really just who's got that do the work mentality and who's going to continue to keep doing it. We got quite a few guys like that. And then when something negative happens, how are they responding to it? That's really what you're looking for. Football and the schemes, execution, that all happens out here. We go back, watch it every night. So looking for mindset more than anything.
I talked to David Moe down at Mountain West Media Days. He was talking about kind of a light switch mentality, whether you're on or you're off, and not trying to be a dimmer switch. And
yeah.
He said that's stuff that you guys spent time on this offseason.
Yeah, kind of a dimmer. It kind of comes on slow, and you want to be. It's really, that was more about strength and conditioning than anything. It does apply to football, but it's more about just being an athlete. When you're ready to turn it on, you can. You just flip the switch. You can move, and you can move very fast rather than building up to it gradually. And so that was part of our conversation with the players. All right, think of it like this. Let's transition into this. And I thought Coach Pittman and the staff did a good job of that.
In those regards, any players like particularly stand out to you?
As far as switches?
Yeah.
Well, we don't have a lot of dimmers. All right, there are some more switches. That's a good thing. All right, we still have some dimmers, so we got to get those guys as switches here soon.
At the receiver position, behind Set, how's that group look?
Look good. Yeah, they've done good. The young guys have played well. I mean, you have more guys out there that are competing. I would say that about the group. The rotation overall, there's been quite a bit of a mix. Just trying to see guys and move guys around a little bit. Said is continuing to practice at a high level. I think A.J. Richardson has really stepped up and has elevated his game as far as just the finish part of it, which is where you want to be at wide receiver. And then the other guys, Sean Monster, guys that have played, Achille and Butler, those guys are doing well. We're kind of moving them in some different positions. And then we have the young guys, and they're playing well. But again, we haven't scrimmaged live. That's when you get the coaches off the field. That's really when you get a chance to see where they are. And that's more of just the mentality of dealing with the whole entire playbook.
Guys are saying that maybe there is more of these guys getting rotated in at wide receiver right now, maybe compared to previously. Is that just to see more guys, or do you envision maybe the rotation being a little deeper this year?
Hard to say that. It's hard to say what our rotation is going to be. It's right now. Let them get a chance to go out there and make plays. As a receiver in practice, you're going to do a lot of drills. You may get 5 balls thrown your way on a good day because the ball is getting sprayed around. So just trying to anticipate where it might go to see if that guy can make that play when it's his opportunity. And that takes a lot of juggling and coordination to do that, to try to pick out, hey, I think we're going to get the ball right here, and you still never know. So that's why the substitution's happening.
You put Silsby on scholarship since the last time that we've talked to you. Curious why you picked him as one of the guys, and then how many more spots might you be considering doing that or have available?
Yeah, I don't know how many more. I know what our numbers are, but how many more, we don't know that yet. Silsby's just been a guy, he's done the work. It doesn't go unnoticed. He's a guy that the teammates really respect and appreciate, and he's earned it. Bottom line, simple as that. And if you look at him physically, he's bigger, stronger. He's making an impact. He's going to play. He's going to be a contributor. And the guys just got the respect of a lot of guys on this team. And he's got the right mindset, so there's no doubt about it. He's a senior. We're expecting big things out of him to contribute whatever his role is, but to come in there and make an impact, that's why he's earned it.
What has Brad Bedell brought? Obviously you mentioned before that you would have hired him maybe anyways. When you got here, but what has he brought to the table, and maybe something, I don't want to say different, but what has he brought to you guys?
Yeah, well, nothing different. I'm not going to compare the two. They're both awesome people. They're both awesome coaches. They both know the game of football. Brad's brought that energy into that room. It's something new and some new ideas. He's been different places. He's seen some different things. So it's always fun to sit in there and have a little bit of a spin on whatever it is we're doing. He can add maybe an idea or a better way of practicing it if it fits in. But overall for him, he just with the staff, his personality, able to handle challenges, able to handle adversity. And I think that's the one thing with Brad. That's just part of his background. He's always been that way, and doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low, coaches the kids pretty even keel about it. And I think the guys really appreciate the mentality he brings.
Who are some of the young guys that have caught your attention one weekend?
Hard to name all of them. I know who they are. They've all made plays, and they've all had plays made on them. So I guess at this point, I'm not going to single out one guy. We'll know more once we get in this first scrimmage and we have a chance. Then you kind of start to figure out who your two deep is, and then the second scrimmage is really cutting your roster. Who are going to be the 2 and maybe 3, and then who's going to be the scouts at that point. So we got to give them a chance to go out there and play and see what they do in game situation. We don't talk much about the game that hey, we're going to change and all that, but some of these guys we don't know until they actually go out there and we cut them loose, and we'll see what type of players they are.
What is your scholarship number now?
Scholarship number now.
We're
at 81.
81.
Yeah, I believe we're at 81 right now.
What can a guy like CT maybe offer?
Well, knowledge. He's a pretty smart football player. That's one thing that stood out. I think he's grasped things pretty well for being a young guy. And then he is competitive. And I went and saw him. He was one of the guys I got a chance to actually go watch him play. And he did it in the game I was at. He's doing it while he's here right now. So just his energy, he's into football. He really loves it. And I've been happy how he's picked it up. Really, that wide receiver group overall, I think Keesaw and Derek Schumann's working with that group. I think they've helped those guys catch on fairly quickly.
Has this camp taken on any kind of a different vibe from previous camps in terms of work ethic or knowledge or just anything different about it?
Well, I think both. I think knowledge of it, as far as the coaches and some of the things that, and I'd say maybe the process and how they're teaching it. Coaches get better too. They figure out ways. They go and visit people. How can we teach it better? Or maybe we're not even teaching it right. Let's go fix this. So we did a lot of studies from last season. Where we are, where are we really at, and then how do we go fix that? So I think the coaches have been teaching. The players have been engaged, but probably on the flip side of what you're asking, the players have been more engaged. And I think the teaching's been really good. I think the players have been more engaged. And then on the practice field, it's just the difference is when there's a challenge, when there's something that comes up, a little adversity, nobody's shying away from it. Nobody's pouting about it. They just go out there and, hey, what's the challenge? Go on to the next one and just go try to practice it. That's really what it is. So with this group, it's been that way so far. Now, we're not even kind of done with camp, so everything's still good right now. We get into practice 20, 21. If we're still doing that, then maybe that's a little bit different.
With Pearson, Keikoa, and even Reed, they played a little last year, but you have a chance where you could have 3, real first-year starters in that secondary there. What kind of challenge, even with Mike, he wasn't here last year. What's kind of the challenge of going in with a young secondary like that?
Communication. Yeah, those guys knowing it. Right now, they know what they're doing. Right now, they're communicating. When they get out there and there's 80-some plays in that game, how do they do that? I think that's always the biggest thing on defense is the communication part of it. After they had a couple plays made on them, or they've made a couple plays, or whatever's happened in the game, how will those guys communicate? And they played last year. They were young, and they did a really good job of that. There wasn't as much expected of them because of that now, but now they're running it, they're communicating, they're talking. Everything I've seen has been positive. Now they got to go do it, and we really won't know that until we go play Troy. Where these guys, and we get into those real games, and we get into those situations, and the communication, and the crowd's going to be out there, it's going to be loud, so it just becomes different environment.
Can you explain what the belt is that you guys have out there, the strength staff? And
Yeah, not really. It's got different meanings. It's had several different meanings, I think, throughout camp. It's like a lot of people do. There's incentives for takeaways. There's incentives for going out there and creating big plays on the defensive side. And camp's about having some fun too. So you go out there and score on O, or you get to take away on defense. Those guys have come up with, I think, some pretty creative things and have done it, the last couple years. And the belt's just another way of doing it.
Who got it? Who got it? Like it's obviously looks custom. Like it's.
I don't know. I don't even know where I got it from.
You guys gonna be doing Bronco Olympics, that kind of stuff again this fall?
We're doing it.
Oh,
yeah, we're still doing it. Yeah, we're still doing that right now. Yeah, we'd have a mutiny if we didn't do that. Yeah, those guys look forward to it.
I know last time we talked to you about Tanner Bolton, you kind of joked around about giving him number 11 because he's from Prosser. I did notice he's wearing number 16, and I happen to know another former walk-on Boise State quarterback that wore the number 16.
Last number we had, nobody else wanted it. It's really true. Nobody else wanted it. He got 16. He's been great. Yeah, it's been fun. He's been a great addition to the room. Tanner's got a goal of being a coach someday, and so he pays attention. He's really into it out there, and he's getting better. I think Coach Hill's doing a great job with him. So where he fits in, in the scheme of things right now, I mean, he's going to get his opportunity to go play. But he came in late, so he's just learning, but I think he's picked it up pretty well.
When you picked 16 here, did you pick it or was it given to you?
I don't even remember. I think I know I didn't pick it because the equipment guy at the time, there was no chance of that. So I think I just got it.